So Matt, tell us a bit more about Optimise Engineering.
So Optimise Engineering are an IBM Silver business partner who are a specialist in systems engineering. And we have a legacy in the world of aerospace and defense, which lets us build up our expertise in using the IBM engineering tools. And so as part of that, we now utilize that expertise in reselling those tools and supporting our customers in implementing their systems engineering processes and practices with a tool-supported methodology.
And you mentioned aerospace. Are there any other industries that you work in?
Absolutely. So systems engineering as a practice was born out of the aerospace and defense sector. And increasingly, other industries have begun to adopt those practices as they've needed to engineer their projects through greater scale and complexity. So we see increasingly customers utilizing them in the rail industry, civil infrastructure. There's lots of usage in the energy sector, for example. So anything where there's a complex system, there's often a need to utilize systems engineering. And so therefore, the tools often go hand in hand with that.
Thanks, Matt. So why is tool-supported systems engineering becoming so important?
So I think customers often struggle with managing the scale and the complexity of their engineering data, be that in requirements or models that they're managing or the tests that accompany those. And so having a tool that allows you to actually treat the engineering data as data rather than text sitting in a document allows you to manage that with a greater degree of confidence. So for example, customers often struggle with simply taking a large number of requirements, using Word and Excel, which they don't find is sufficient. Then they can bring them into an appropriate requirements management tool, start to break down the data to its most granular level, and then they can trace it and link it all the way across the engineering lifecycle. And that's something that without the right tools is very hard to implement. It requires a lot of manual effort. So by using the appropriate tools, we can get the right people seeing the right data all in one single source of truth. And that allows teams to work much more efficiently and cut down those development costs and the life cycles associated with engineering the products.
Okay, so Matt, tell us more about your new offering called Optimise3P.
So Optimise3P, the 3P stands for product, process and people. And the idea is that it can be a highly customized solution to work with any processes or needs that the customer has. So the product is really about what kinds of tools you're interested in using, how are you interested in deploying them, and what kind of licensing options are you after. The process is about us being able to provide you with the support, and that can be from just providing the configuration support to actually having a more hands-on approach where we are working in your system and taking a lot of the load off of the systems engineering processes and the implementation of them. And then finally, the people is about upskilling and supporting your users to be able to utilize the tools, and also just helping them more generally in the world of systems engineering. So we provide tool-agnostic systems engineering training that can be useful for upskilling, regardless of whether or not you happen to be using our tools alongside it.
So how is Optimise3P delivered?
Depends on the nature of the solution, but it could be anything from a purely technical deployment all the way down to a managed service where we are actually handling the configuration of projects on a regular basis for our customers. And on the training side, it can be a very light touch, just getting customers up and running with the use of the tools, to actually providing them with consultancy on implementing very complex engineering structures within their tools to support their projects.
So what specific engineering problems does Optimise3P address?
So the challenges that customers often face in implementing a tool-supported systems engineering process might be that they can't quite find the flexibility in the licensing that they need, particularly when it comes to a cloud-based solution. It might be that, and again, through a cloud-based deployment, they have trouble with integrations. They can maybe get something that's off the shelf, but not something that has that degree of customization and hands-on approach with the integrations that Optimise3P can offer. And it might be that actually they need something with a bit more hand-holding, where actually they need somebody who can go in with the expertise to configure the tools in the way that they need, implement their process and streamline everything so that their engineers can just come in and do their day jobs without having to have any overhead associated with implementing the process.
So how does Optimise3P differ from traditional lifecycle management approaches?
So with Optimise3P, we like to think that we can offer an end-to-end solution to be able to cover any needs that the customer has when implementing a tool-supported systems engineering approach, whether those needs are more on the technical side that they need support with, or they need help with upskilling their staff on tools or the practices of systems engineering, and wherever they are on their maturity process of implementing and refining their systems engineering process, we can help them along that journey.
So what are some of the key benefits to Optimise3P?
So really the key benefits are we provide a highly customizable end-to-end solution for whatever the customer's tool-supported systems engineering process needs to be. We can integrate with any existing tools in a cloud-hosted environment. We can provide a great deal of flexibility in the licensing options that we can provide within that cloud-hosted environment. And we can quickly and easily upskill and support all of the engineering staff to be able to get them working with that systems engineering process as quickly as possible.
What benefits do customers get from that?
So ultimately what systems engineering customers are looking to do is they want to make sure they cut down on the errors that creep into their design, and they want to spot those errors as early as possible. They want to make sure that they are cutting down costs on their development cycle, and they want to try and reduce their time to market so they can be as flexible in responding to the competition as they can be. So ultimately, using a tool-supported systems engineering process is going to allow them to keep a nice tight rein on their requirements and their engineering data to allow them to do that.
Okay, great. So how scalable is Optimise3P?
So it's designed by its nature to be scalable to meet the need of all sorts of customer situations, and then also scalable in the sense that we can grow it over time. So commonly we work with customers who might have some issues working with their requirements, and because requirements touch everything, they need to start there. But it might be that over time their projects increase in maturity, they need to be able to do more with their systems engineering process, and so they need the tools and the practices and the support to go along with that. So Optimise3P allows them to work with any part of the engineering lifecycle that they need to, deploy those solutions in any way that they need to, get the support to whatever degree they require it, and then over time we can adjust that to meet their needs as those needs change.
Thanks, Matt. So how does Optimise3P integrate with existing engineering systems?
So in terms of the deployment, Optimise3P can be tailored to work with any type of deployment, whether that's on-premise or in the cloud, or working with different types of licensing options where the customers might bring their own license to a deployment that we are operating for them. It could also be that a new Optimise3P environment is integrating with an existing toolset, and that's largely possible through the use of the OSLC standard, which is Open Services for Lifecycle Collaboration. So this is an open standard that was originally developed by IBM, and all of the Engineering Lifecycle Management, or ELM, tools natively support this standard, so any other tool that supports that standard can be integrated with an Optimise3P deployment.
Okay, so thanks, Matt. How can companies get started with Optimise3P?
All of the information is available on our website, optimise-engineering.co.uk. You can see on there the full selection of the services and the offerings and the products that we work with to understand which of the different choices that you might have within Optimise3P are best for you. And ultimately, you can schedule a consultation on there and get talking to us to understand more.
And is there a demo available for Optimise3P?
Absolutely. So a big part of what we do is we provide demonstrations of the engineering lifecycle management tools, and accompanying that, we can also help you understand what some of the implementation options might be, or any other accompanying services that you might have to go along with that, such as the tool agnostic training that we offer.
So are there any events that people can attend?
Absolutely. So we run a regular user community event, and that gives both new and existing customers the opportunity to learn more in the world of systems engineering and understand what's going on in the IBM toolset. And we often run those in conjunction with IBM themselves and some of our customers and business partners. So those are a great way to learn about what's going on in the systems engineering world at the moment.